gotta go.
Alright, I think we're ready. Let me know if you can hear me and all that fun stuff.
Yes, I can hear you.
Sweet. Also, if you're going to be missing the Meet the Lindens, there's usually live streams posted up, so I'm sure you could find one. I think the one for yesterday with the patch has been uploaded somewhere. Don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's probably going to be a little short because I got to go and prepare for that stuff. It's going to be a video debriefing, probably not from us, but I'm sure you can find that somewhere. But yeah, I gotta go play bouncer, which is always fun. But yeah, welcome. See, we got some new faces. Here is our little linky-doo for this thing. Just gonna go through our usual disclaimer. There's certain things we can't discuss in this particular meeting. It's intended as a an open Q&A about what my team does. But there's certain things we can't discuss, like abuse appeals for any warnings or suspensions or terminations, information or outcomes on past or current abuse reports, that kind of thing. So be aware there's some things that we just can't get into for various reasons, but we'll do our best to address anything you have. But that is about it. So I'll leave the floor open to y'all. Also, if you're not comfortable talking on voice, feel free to type. It's just on voice, so I can talk to you freely. So go forth, ask questions.
Oh, if no one else has anything, I've got a question.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so my friend and I are opening a role-playing sim. It is adult rated because there is some fantasy violence and stuff like that. Our concern is we wanted to allow child avatars because we've seen them in the role-playing community before, and we've had a lot of concerns from players where they feel like if someone shows up and breaks our rules, because we're very clear about what level of violence they're allowed into, and the fact that they're not allowed into sexual or suggestive situations. But the players are concerned that if someone does break those rules, that the entire sim will be closed and they will be banned just for being on the same sim as this occurs.
Okay, yeah, so that's actually a pretty good question. We get that quite a bit. So if someone is engaging in age play on a child avatar, that kind of thing, we tend to go after the people who are actually engaging in it. We don't really want to go after the, people in the region or land, unless those people who are running a region specifically to harbor that kind of activity. But if someone just happens to be on a child avatar and they go to these regions and engage in that activity with somebody, we're just going to smack the people who are actually doing it. We're not going to go after, we're not going to shut down a whole region or a whole club unless we find evidence that they're actually involved in some way and, harboring that kind of, encouraging that. But if you're like, hey, you can be here, but don't do this, then, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I was saying we just, always like to encourage just general common sense for people who just, want to bring child avatars to certain areas. If you don't feel it's appropriate, it might not be a good idea to bring it. But yeah, as long as people don't break those rules that we have as far as age play violations, then it should be all good.
Yeah, I figured that's how it was. It's just, especially with some of the role-playing people, they're so trepidated by it now, and there's like these boogeyman stories of whole sims getting shut down and everyone IP banned because someone came in and broke the rules. And I'm like, even if we I mean, either way, it's better we have the rules stated, because anyone could just walk in and do this anyway.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah, as long as it's if we find someone, I've had some things in the past where people are like, "Yeah, I'm gonna set up a little area as a little hidey hole for us to do nasty things." I'm like, "No, that's gross. Stop that." Then we go after those individuals. But yeah, in your case, you should be fine. And if you do come across, actually find this is pretty common in a lot of areas, particularly uh, not so much with the adult clubs, but more so areas that are child avatar friendly, like little child clubs and beaches and stuff like that, where they're not necessarily bad, but they tend to attract those kind of people. And they usually report it to us. They'll be like, I get a weird feeling about this person. I think they're doing something, or, they might have gotten a message from the person trying to solicit them for things. But yeah, if you ever come across that kind of thing, or if you think someone might be into that kind of activity on your region, just feel free to report them and we'll take a look and see what we can.
Yeah, yeah. We definitely have it in there that not only are we going to report them and ban them from the region, but we were going to put in a reward system so that if someone sees that, they actually get a little like some EXP or some golden character just to kind of go, yes, you're helping us enforce this rule.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, just get the nasties out. Yeah. So yeah, we don't tolerate that kind of behavior. So we always encourage people if they come across it, or if they, if even if they're not sure, but they get a little skeevy feeling, it's
Yeah.
always good to report it, and we'll investigate. And if we find anything, then add them to my pile of banned accounts. If I was
Oh
a
yeah.
Dragonite board banned account of just nasty people, don't do that. Yeah.
Um, on that front, I just had one more question. It was regarding the furniture that has adult animations thing. We were just going to, we've already got it in our rules, because we're letting people rent like little private spaces, like little apartments, that if you have any adult animations in your furniture, you can not have an underage avatar in there for any reason. Is that enough? Because I know we also have anything adult oriented needs to be in private messages, not public chat. Is that enough, or is a kid walking by, like the outside of the building where there exists one, is that considered proximity by TOS?
If they're just walking by something, that's fine. I've seen people like, maybe someone just really likes that chair, and that chair happens to have some really hardcore animations in it. As long as someone's using those animations, then that's fine. But if they're just walking by it, or maybe just simply sitting on it and just using it as a chair and not using it as a sex chair, we're not
Oh,
going to
okay.
smack them. So.
Okay, so that's even more free than we thought it was, because I was at the point of just don't even go in there. You cannot be in the apartment whatsoever. Don't even be near the furniture.
Yeah, we try and find like clear engagement in the activity, so it's a little bit hard, otherwise we'd be just banning all kinds of people. Like, oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
they're next to a chair that has all these animations. We're like, oh, well, were they using those animations? So that's kind of where that line goes. If we can see them actively engaging. Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely do not be AFK.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That was the main glut of my question. I'm gonna stop taking up all your time because I know it's short.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. And, if you ever have any other questions, aside from these meetings, you can feel free to ping me. I'm usually pretty available.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see. Stuff on the marketplace. Let's see. If you find something that's against the marketplace listing rules, you can go ahead and flag it, and we'll review it. Depending on what it is. Sometimes we'll see them as abuse reports too. But yeah, anything on them. Hi phone. I forgot to put you on mute. Sup? But yeah, most things in the marketplace, we ask that you flag them because that's a bit of a separate system that we go through and review those flags compared to abuse reports. So they're in their own little separate fun place of marketplace fun. Just not usually fun, but All right, does anybody else have any other questions? Yeah, that's usually the format toward, unless you get a blend in with a weird one, but that's usually it. Pretty sure there is a flag category for an image that doesn't really fit what they're selling. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there should be one around there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, incorrect image. So you could try that, and then we'll review it. If there's anything else weird about it, we'll check it out. Oh, lovely. My team will be enjoying those flags when we get to them. Get those reviewed and see what we can do and clean it up. You can do both. I would say definitely flag it so we see the flags and we can look at those listings individually. If you think it's the full store, you can go ahead and file an AR in addition to that, and we can just pull both and do a deeper investigation. Items that no longer function. I'm trying to think. We might have a flag for that. If not, you can always AR, or you can submit a case and be like, "Hey, this thing is kind of broken," and we can take a look at it through there. I think we do have a flag for griefing devices. This can be a little tricky, but sometimes they're branded as like combat HUDs and stuff like that. Well, let me see. Come here, marketplace, so I can find things. Yeah, I think usually if you go under spam or disallowed listing practices and harmful or disruptive content, I think that's the one we use for those. But yeah, if you think there's one, yeah, we don't like crashers. If we find crashers in there, we're like, nah, get out of here. Sometimes it can be a little tricky because people like to skirt the edge of what is and isn't allowed, but we do review them, and if we think they're no bueno, then we will unlist them and do our usual as procedure stuff. There you go. Thank you, Governance 18. Yeah, it's the unfortunate thing of having a product so old is sometimes you get items that just don't work anymore because like you said, the web server just doesn't work or it's down, which is a real bummer. But yeah, you can definitely report those and we can check it out. know if we have a flag for that one. I would say for those, if you have a some sort of item that doesn't work anymore, just submit a case and just link. Yeah, or yeah, definitely leave a review, that kind of thing. You bought a single shoe and you had to wear it twice. Nice. Well, hopefully the shoe at least fit. Well, hopefully they gave you the left shoe and not the right one. Because that would be unfortunate. That's actually kind of funny, but unfortunate. It's like me trying to. Like I got a pair of shoes once, and yeah, there were two different sizes, and they're all sorts of messed up. I was like, Of course, I didn't notice until midway through walking half a mile. Like, why does this hurt? But at least you don't have to worry about foot pain in Second Life. So, yay. That's weird. All right. Any other questions? No? Is that it? Well, that's it. We can. Oh, here we go. That would really have to depend on the context. Say if it's kind of sexually explicit content in a G-rated region, then that would just be a straight up no. Moderate regions, anything that's sexual in nature, we prefer you to put it on, into adult regions, that kind of thing. General nudity is fine. It's on moderate regions. Yeah, adult rated regions, it's mostly a free for all. As long as there's you're adhering to the rest of the terms of service. As long as there's no like real life depictions of like pictures or videos of illegal content such as rape or bestiality, that kind of stuff. We don't want that. But we try not to impede on people's role play and what they want to role play, as long as it's not age play. We don't want that.
Kristin, what is the how does it work when someone's done a sexualized picture in Second Life on their profile? I'm thinking of a young lady who I've reported a number of times who's shoving something in herself, but it's a Second Life picture. Is that allowed or not?
So second profile should be GPG rated. So if it's on their profile picture, and not their pics, but their profile picture. If it's either real life nudity or their avatar or avatar portrayals, then no, we do not allow that. So
it's a Second Life avatar.
yeah, that's something we'll actually would remove. Sometimes the profiles are a little funky with how we view them. I think Firestorm has some sections we don't have. But yeah, if you see one, go ahead and report it. It could be that we just haven't gotten to it, or it probably fell under the radar somewhere. But
I've said this a number of times, but it's it's somebody who just keeps coming back with the same picture. But I'll send it again anyway.
Yeah, it could be that they might be reposting it. And if that's the case, then we really need to slap them. But some people will do that. We'll remove it, and then they'll put it right back up, and we might not necessarily know until later. But yeah, go ahead and report it again, and I'll take a look and make sure it's getting looked into and see if it might be the case of somebody reposting or something. Yes, the joys of bestiality. So bestiality, that can be... So real life depictions of bestiality, we do not allow. There are some other instances where we might not allow it, but like people role playing is that can... It gets into some weird grounds of people role playing, like as in like I think they call themselves like feral furries, kind of thing. So those are things we'll go ahead and review. But yeah, if there's real life depictions of bestiality going on, we get that right out of there. Yeah. If you find that stuff, you go ahead and report it, and we'll just do a deeper dig in there. That's also the other unfortunate thing, that we have to bleach our eyeballs and read and see. I've seen some nasty stuff. It's not so much, it's really tricky. Sometimes it just, there's like a weird fuzzy line, which, and most people are like, hey, it either is or isn't, but like there's weird role play aspects that, we have to take in consideration. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's one of those, it's a kind of a grayish area, but for sure real life depictions we do not allow. It's just kind of the nature of Second Life. There's some things that we just have to like take a look at case by case and determine whether or not we need to step in or not. So if you come across it and you feel it's a little sketch, feel free to report it, and we'll take a look at it further and see if we need to dig more and all that fun stuff. I'm so glad I'm not somebody who likes to eat carrots on lunch. That's... Are you talking about the carrots or the bunnies? Okay. I was gonna say there's probably a stew recipe for that. All right, cool, Torque. I'll take a look at it whenever I get a chance. Make sure it's not somebody on our radar. So we've had some.
Say that is fine, but I just don't think so.
Yeah, occasionally we get people who think it's a great idea to repost after we've removed and smacked them around a few times. So yeah, I'll make sure it's getting checked out, and if it's not one of our repeat customers that, can't keep it appropriate. Some people just can't take a hint. All right. Any last minute questions and such? We'll probably wrap it up in a few minutes, so I can go and prepare for the madness that is Meet the Lindens.
Time is Meet Oz tonight? Is that coming up at the top of this hour?
Yeah, it should be starting in like 30-ish minutes, I think. Yeah. I had to do math. Yeah, but I believe today is Oz and tomorrow is... I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore. I think Strawberry and Ziola are tomorrow? Maybe that's Thursday. What's today? Is it Tuesday? It's a week already. What's the other one? Oh, I'm missing something. I'll have to figure out. There's a schedule somewhere. There should be a blog post somewhere. Yes, Abby. I don't know how. Shame on me. I forgot. Abby was having one this week. Woo! I need all the caffeine. That might be the one I'm remembering on Thursday. And then Friday is Meet the Moles with Patch. Oh, there's a thread about someone acting a fool on Linden homes. I'll just see if I can find that thread, but they definitely need to file an AR if somebody rezzing stuff over their house. I know. Shame on me. I knew it was something. I was like, ah. Great, now I got Kill the Wabbit song in my head too. No. Yeah, if you can't find it, I'm sure we'll come across it. I'm usually on the forums pretty frequently, but it's been a busy week. But yeah, if someone's experiencing grieving, like even on a Linden home region or any region, just go ahead and report it, and then we can take a look. Yeah, if it's an active thread, I'm sure we'll come across it if we haven't already. But yeah. You're welcome, and thanks for stopping by. Catch you later, and you're gone. But yeah, unless anybody else has any other lingering last-minute questions, comments, all that stuff, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Last chance. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Or at least until stuff. All right, looks like we're done. Thank you guys for joining. I will be updating the wiki page that I linked earlier, so keep an eye on that if there's any for the dates for any next ones. If there's any cancellations or any of that stuff, it'll be on there. Yeah. You're welcome. I'll catch y'all later. Hope you guys have a good one.